Hello. So today, what I want to talk about is concerns I have about surgery. These are concerns that are personal to me. They may not be the same concerns that you have, or someone you know has, or other people have. But I thought it might be helpful if other people could relate, or just I don't know. I'm just trying to talk about my own personal journey with this surgery, in hopes that it'll be helpful to other people. So I thought I would talk about whatever's relevant. So this is what I'm thinking about right now. The first concern that I have is working out after surgery. I like to lift weights. I like to bike. I like to run sometimes. Um, I like to be active, and this is a pretty intense surgery. I'm getting the skin taken from my arm, so that I'm using my forearm as the donor site. So I'm worried about regaining, range of motion. I'm losing strength in my arm. Although most people that I've heard that have this surgery eventually regain normal function in their arm. Although I've heard of issues with numbness and things like that, with tightness in the graft. So I would like to be able to lift weights again. I would like to be able to build back up my strength. I also know that I'm going to be out of the gym for a while. I'm not going to be able to work out for a little bit. And I know that I go stir crazy. Just thinking back to when I had top surgery and a hysterectomy and I had to not go to the gym and lift weights for a while. I'm thinking it may be easier because I'm probably not going to feel like going to the gym for at least a couple of weeks. Um, because, I'll be healing, I'll be bedridden for at least a week. But I know it's probably going to be hard, like not feeling or not even being able to, care for myself or walk around, use my arm, stand for long periods of time. So I'm sure that'll be tough, not only physically but mentally, just coping with that. I'm an independent person. I live alone. I have, my mom's gonna take care of me, but it's still gonna be tough, and I know that. So I'm just trying to like mentally prepare myself for that. Um, I've come to terms with the fact that I won't be able to work out for a while. I know that maybe sounds silly, but I don't. I like having my routine, and when my routine is interrupted, it's tough. So I'm just gonna have to work through that. Um, so we'll see how that goes. I'll definitely keep this updated on how I do when I'm going back to the gym, especially because the staging is split up differently. So I'll have the first stage, and then 3 to 6 months later, I'll have the second stage. I don't know if I'll be able to get back to the gym in between. I might not even want to because it sort of may feel pointless. But I mean, it's not pointless because I like going to the gym. So even if I can't build up that much strength, or I build up a little, and then I have to go back in for another surgery, it'll probably just be nice to get back into some sort of a routine before I have to go in for the second stage. So there's that. I'm also a little worried about the food in the hospital while I'm there. I'm vegan, so I hope you know what being vegan is by now. It's 2018. Um, but I don't know what kind of food they're going to have in the hospital. I would hope they could accommodate. I would think that they could, but worst comes to worst, I'll have people bring me food. Um, so that's that. I'll definitely be interested to see how that actually works out. I'm a little bit worried about the pain after surgery, but I have a high pain tolerance, and that's never been like my main concern. But it is an intense surgery. They're taking like skin and nerves from your arm and moving it to another part of your body. Um, there's a lot of little things that go along with this. It's a very intricate surgery, so I'm curious how my body is going to respond to that and how it's going to feel. I'm curious about how it's going to feel waking up from surgery. Um, I was thinking about this earlier today. Like we go through this process because it's something that we need to do to feel comfortable with our bodies, and it's something that we want. But it is still a striking difference because you're going to sleep and your body is one way, and then you're waking up and your body is another way. It's similar to top surgery, although I think that it's a little bit more intense. But I do remember when after top surgery, I didn't feel this like euphoria that some people state that they experience. It felt very normal to me. It felt like this was how my chest had been all along. So I'm sort of hoping that phalloplasty is like that. Um, I'm not a very emotive person. I I don't like have a lot of strong emotions a lot of the time. So I feel like it would be more normal for me to experience like waking up from phalloplasty as it feeling normal rather than it feeling like this big like surge of good emotions, because that's not something I feel in general. But just like top surgery, when I woke up and it felt normal, I'm hoping that when I wake up from phalloplasty, it'll feel normal. But I also know that some people, have a period of adjustment, and because it's such a huge shock and trauma to the body, it doesn't feel normal immediately. So we'll see how that is. And I'm also just anxious about like the recovery process. It's a long recovery process. Um, I'm gonna have a scar on my arm for the rest of my life. I'm gonna have to deal with people asking about it. I'm not um, telling people at work besides like a couple people that I'm close to about this surgery. So I'm curious about how it's going to be returning to work and having people ask where I was for so long because I'm taking like 2 months off work. Um, Having people ask about my arm. I wear a sleeve on my arm, and I have since I started working at this. I've been working at the same place since May, and I've worn the sleeve the whole time, so people know that I have something going on with my arm. They might even not notice because I'll probably have something, either a sleeve like this or another similar thing covering my arm. So they may not even notice that I had surgery on my arm. But I don't know, like, if I'm still going to need dressings on my arm by the time I go back to work. So, but I'm also like, I'm not going to wear a sleeve on my arm for the rest of my life. I'll probably get it tattooed eventually because I like tattoos. I have tattoos. But we'll see how that goes because, I mean, I personally think scars are cool. Like, I had a small chest, so I don't have like the double incision scars on my chest. But um, I think that also even like the top surgery stars, I think are more known about in public than phalloplasty stars. But I never like ALT was never appealing to me because of being able to hide the scar. I don't really care about having to hide the scar. Um, I don't like being like the center of attention, and I like scars. Big noticeable scars anywhere will attract attention. Um, and while I don't want attention attracted to me, I also don't really mind having something noticeable. Like I have a piercing in my face. I have tattoos, so it's not like I go out of my way to not draw attention to my body. Although I also don't intentionally like all like my tattoos, my piercings. They're all for me. They're not like for other people or to draw attention. Um, which I mean, like people going phalloplasty aren't doing it to like draw attention to their bodies. So that was not a comment meant to imply that, but just stating like I know that the scar on my arm is going to be like an adjustment period and figuring out how to interact with people when they're like asking about it. I haven't had many people even ask about the sleeve that I wear on my arm. I mostly wear long sleeves anyway, so I don't think it's super noticeable. But even when I wear short sleeves, people don't really ask about it. I don't know if it's just like the environment I'm in, or like just people don't care. Maybe if I worked somewhere else, people would care more. But it's interesting to me because I work in customer service, so I'm working with people all the time, and they really don't ask about it. So we'll see how that goes. Um, Worried about complications, things like that. I'm an anxious person in general, but I feel like this is a really good point in my life to have surgery. I have a steady job. I have good health insurance. I feel pretty lucky that I have access to the surgery because I know a lot of people don't, or they don't have like the support to have access to it. My transition moved pretty fast. Like I got on hormones pretty quickly after realizing I was trans, and then I had top surgery and a hysterectomy a little bit less than a year later, and then a little bit more than a year after that, I'm having phalloplasty. But these felt like things that were necessary to me to like inhabit my body in a way that's comfortable for me for the rest of my life. So, some people may think that I'm moving quickly with this, but I figure like I know that this is something that I need to feel comfortable in my body. So why would I delay it when it may be then a more inconvenient time? Like I want to have a career and I want to like maybe move somewhere or like get a dog. I don't want to have to deal with taking time out of then like working on my career and the rest of my life to have surgery. So I feel like right now, while I'm not solidified in a career, I have family still here to support me. It's the best possible time, so why not take advantage of that when I may eventually be in a situation where I don't have all of this at my disposal to take advantage of for this surgery. So that's all for now. I just wanted to get some things out there and talk about them. Maybe people can relate to them. I don't know. But that's all. I'm always, open to talking and answering questions. I just don't. I haven't shared. I have social media. So good luck if you find me. I just haven't shared it because I don't want, if people Google my social media, I don't want it to come up here because I don't have a separate transition related social media. I just have one that's personal to me, and I don't want people that I work with to be able to find these videos, so it's under a different name and things like that. I don't know if YouTube even has like direct messaging or anything like that. But if it does, you can message me and I'll share my social media. I'm not stealth, but I also just don't really care for coworkers or other people to find these videos. That's it. I'll come up with another video eventually. Bye.